Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey got a radio show. I said yesterday I was trying to do something with it. Like I said, you know, the trying part is over. I'm actually doing something with it. And yesterday I spoke to you about finding your mission, your purpose, and, you know, what it's all for, and you know, what's it about and how to get at it. I spoke to you about that yesterday. Now, and I told you that the only way to find your real purpose, your real mission in life, your real what for, the thing that you got to go get after, is you got to connect with God. You have to connect with Him, because as your creator, no one knows better what you were made for than your maker. I mean, man, it just make a lot of common sense, don't it? I mean, really, you know, people kill me with the lack of belief. I mean, you know, like all of this that we have today spun out from a cosmic ball of dust in the galaxy that cooled off and formed all these lakes and rivers and clouds and mountains and valleys and birds and animals and people from a cosmic speck of dust, and that they act like there's no connection to a higher calling or a higher reasoning. That's just, you know, and they try to create, for those that do believe, this hocus pocus ritual, this magical, what is that? There's no scientific. I don't argue science. I think that science is very real. I think that science is very applicable. I think that science helps us learn so many things. But science ain't everything now. You might as well under that. There's some unexplainables that science can't wrap their mind around, so here they go with something else. And then you got the naysayers who use that, the non-believers who use that as the proof that there is no higher calling or higher being. And listen to me. I don't really into explaining all that away. If that's how you feel, then go on and get to feeling how you feeling with it. But let me explain something to you. I just don't see how. I don't see how, man. What is this conscious that eats away at you from time to time? Where does the moral barometer come from that exists in your life? What makes you know the difference between right and wrong? Did that come from that cosmic speck of dust that spun out of control and cooled this fiery hot ball down, and then these lakes and rivers and all the clouds and mountains got cool? Where did your conscience come from? What is your need to cry out from? Where does the word Lord help me come from? Why, when you get in a dark place and you whisper Jesus, where'd it come from? Huh? What is that? What is that if you're driving on the road and your car caroms off a cliff? The words that come out your mouth, where them come from? Oh, Lord, help me. You know, where do these promises come from that we make? These deals we cut that we make with a higher power? Why when you're at your lowest moment, man, you turn somewhere? Okay, enough of that. I've explained my side of it. And as a matter of fact, God is really almost unexplainable to me. So really, for me to sit here and try to explain, I'm really not that good of a guy. You know what I mean? I'm not that person. So let me try to give you something real here. Okay. So we didn't just had that moment. I had to get that off my chest. I want to share something with you about when you strike out to find your mission, or how about when you strike out on your mission? Once you discover what your purpose is, or let's simplify it. What happens when you set a goal and you're ready to strike out on that goal? What happens when you set an ambition in front of you, or put something in your sights that you want to attain, that you want to become successful at? What's the mindset that you have to develop? There are three things You must first ask, you must then believe, and you must then receive. Now the receive part, all these parts is got a thing to it. You got to ask. You just got to ask for it. You know, you've heard the scripture before, you have not because you ask not. Why don't you ask? But then after you ask, here's the kick. You got to believe that it can happen for you. Stop looking at the success of other people and not thinking that that same success can happen for you. And I'm not saying that specific way. I'm just saying that a success can happen for you just like it can happen for somebody else. Why do you think it keeps happening to other people over and over? Because they ask and they believe. Now here's the cold part. Receive it. Uh-oh. What you mean receive it? I asked for it. I believe in it. Why would I not want to receive it? Act like it. Act like it's already there. Behave as though you have it in your hands. Smile about it. Realize that, man, it's just days away. And how many other days that is? If it's days away, it's just days away. We don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow, next week, in 30 days. We don't know if it's going to take a few years. But you got to receive it, though. You got to ask, you got to believe, and you got to receive it. You got to act as though it's there. Now, there's another part now to this about work. You know, don't please, faith without works is dead. Don't think you're going to just ask for something, believe in, and then go sit down and start watching TV. Come on now, let's get real. Let's not leave out the other jewel. You got to work. But now, here what I want you to know about when you strike out on that mission. That the journey that you strike out on to accomplish a goal or to set out on the mission, the journey, if you could understand this, it'll help you so much. The journey is a process. It's not an arrival date. It's a process. All you're looking to do, folks, is start the process. Get it started. Don't worry about the arrival date. Act like it's there. The arrival date is coming. But here is the beauty of the journey being a process. But all along the way of your journey, you will find success. The whole time you're on the journey, the whole time you're in the process of finding your mission, fulfilling your mission, uncovering your dreams, reaching your goals, the beauty of it is all along the way, you're going to find success on so many levels. And people fail to look at that part. They keep thinking to themselves, man, I ain't there yet. It's like when you take a little kid on a long car trip and they're in the back seat. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Boy, if you just look out the window, see where we done been. Look out the window, look at the mountains, look at these trees, look at the views we got. No, we ain't there yet. But Lord have mercy, look at what he's showing us along the way. Smell the roses. Have yourself a cup of coffee. Chill every now and then and see what he's doing for you. Because the journey is a process. But man, know that in the process of arriving at your designated goal, dream, ambition, or mission, understand this, that the journey is a process, but all along the way you'll find success. There are things that are going to happen to you along the way, man, that will be so gratifying and fulfilling, where the journey is joyful. There is joy in the journey. You don't have to be there to appreciate the ride. Appreciate the journey and the process. Stop getting mad because you ain't at the arrival date or your dreams ain't came true yet. Look up. Look up. You might discover, man, that you living better. You might discover that you don't have $1 million yet, but you done made $250,000. What you tripping for? Because you ain't got the $1 million yet. Remember when you didn't have nothing? Be grateful for the $250,000 mark, the $100,000 mark, the $322,000 mark. Don't you understand, man? You may not be where you want to be, but man, can't you thank God that you ain't where you was? How about that one?
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
8 years ago, but I'm here.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Shirley Carter Jr., top of the morning.
Hey, good morning to you.
Morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Another day.
Good morning.
Like the lady said yesterday, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Be glad in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
Roll,
Donald Trump,
Jordan, roll.
our president-elect. We didn't think we'd be saying that.
No, we didn't.
But it is what it is. We have not heard from Secretary Clinton yet. She's expected to speak later this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did call Donald Trump, as we understand, to congratulate him. So did President Obama. He and President Obama are scheduled to meet on Thursday. Yeah. Sometimes things don't happen the way you think they should happen.
No, it doesn't.
Not even close.
Yeah, sometimes you're surprised in life, stunned, shocked.
I woke up this morning like, oh.
Tommy's favorite word, fiberglassed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though it's flabbergasted, but
Fiberglass.
I don't know, Shirley. You know, last night, Tommy and Junior, I called Shirley. When I was watching the election results, and I saw there was trouble in Ohio.
Yep.
And I called Shirley. I said, he may just very well win. And she said, I dozed off. What? What?
Because I really did doze off.
She said dozed off. What?
I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. You know, I'm in Philadelphia. So I woke
Philadelphia, our home station, WDAS.
I woke up this morning and, the television was also, I turned it on. I said, you got to be boop, boop. Really?
Pretty much
that was everybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, that exact same thing happened to me because I went to sleep. It was real iffy. It was not looking good. It started to make that churn. And then I woke up around that same time, about 3:30, and it said, Donald Trump.
It don't even sound right there.
President-elect. Right?
President-elect. And I sat straight up. What? Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, he's our president-elect.
Man.
That's it. It's reality and not a reality show. This is reality for real, for real.
Yeah.
We should take some calls and get the people's thoughts on everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let them talk.
Let them talk, see what they're feeling, their thoughts on the whole situation. But I'll tell you this, we did our part.
Oh, absolutely.
We did our part.
We did everything. There's nothing else we could have done.
Right.
There's nothing else we could have done. I mean, we even gave Trump supporters a voice on the show who, in our show, it was no secret. We clearly, backed Hillary Clinton. We clearly did. From our leader, Steve Harvey, on down. We all voted for Hillary.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but we still gave Trump supporters a voice. Well,
you're supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a rule. It's called equal time.
And we did that. But give us a call. Let us know your thoughts. 877-29-STEVE.
Well, you know what? We kept saying we were waiting on. I did anyway. I can't wait till November 9th. I can't wait.
Yeah.
For this to be over with.
Didn't know it was going to be like this.
I wait for November 9th. I woke up this morning and I said, was it a dream?
I know.
Was it a nightmare? I turned on the TV. I said, no.
But you know what? It's funny you say that, speaking of a dream, because Tommy, since day one, has thought this was a joke. That Donald Trump, you always thought
a game. Yeah.
You thought it was.
This just can't be real.
Yeah, he was a spoiler.
Yeah.
And get this far, get this far, and now to be the 45th president of the United States, it's just...
Yeah, and it trickled down.
We're speechless. It's surprising.
Yeah, it trickled down. House and Senate, Republican now. Everything. Everything. He gets to choose the Supreme Court nominee.
Yeah.
Maybe more than one, maybe up to 3. We'll have to see. But
What do you guys think it was? What do you think?
that's what we're all trying to figure out.
I don't know. You see the exit polls and,
Yeah, everybody is kind of in shock.
I think it's, they just didn't believe in Hillary. They just didn't. For some reason, she didn't convince.
Her message didn't.
She didn't convince everybody that she could handle the task. And then just the whole background. I think, people were just turned away. I don't know.
Yeah, with the emails and Benghazi, those things that were looming over her head, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was because she's a woman.
I was going to say that as well.
I think it's because she's a woman, too, Tommy.
That had a lot
just-
to do with it.
I won't.
That had a lot to do with it. A lot of people just are not ready for a female president, even though other countries have done it and all of that. But United States, we just, aren't ready for it. Even women.
Exactly, Shirley.
Weren't ready for it. A lot of women voted for who she thought would be her stronghold, voted for Donald Trump.
So do you think, but they weren't ready for a woman, but they were ready for a black man?
Well, that was obvious, yeah.
That was obvious. They voted him in twice.
Yeah.
And maybe that was part of it, Tommy.
Maybe it was.
We had a black man that was a president twice, and then a woman after that from the same party.
Yeah.
They just those Trump supporters. They came out and they voted for him. They voted for their candidate
for their party. For their party. Yeah. So.
Well, I think our party is divided, though. So.
The country is divided.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah. I'm really concerned though about Obamacare, President Obama's legacy.
Man.
Yeah, you.
I'm
having
so scared right now.
Yeah, condition.
Ooh, Edna, don't drive me.
Well, at the end of the day, President Barack Obama has done an excellent job.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
And if he could run again.
He doesn't want the job.
Oh, no.
He doesn't want the job. Yeah, people were gathered outside the White House 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, just in shock.
Yeah.
You ever drunk Hennessy beer and wine in one glass?
Is that why you sound like this?
I did that last night.
Okay.
I did that last night. I don't know what you call that, but it was Hennessy beer and wine, one glass.
All right. We've solicited for phone calls. Yeah, if you want to holler at us, 877-29-STEVE. We'll take your phone calls right after this. We'll be back at 34 after.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Found me an apartment in Cape Town.
You are not going anywhere.
I heard last night on the news that the people wanting to move to Canada, the whole tourist thing for Canada, the website crashed.
It's so many.
I said, wow.
All right, let's go to the phone.
Okay, you want to talk to the people. Here we go.
Yeah.
Line 1. Let's go to Chris out of Maryland.
Chris.
Hey, good morning, family. Good morning, Tommy, Shirley, Carla, and Junior. How y'all doing today?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, man, what's up,
Chris? How you doing,
brother?
Man, damn.
Come on, Florida Evans. Come on.
Man, let me tell you. I got it wrong, man.
Yeah.
I'm a native of New York.
Mm-hmm.
They have elected the sleaziest business person, and we're going to find out the hard way.
Yep.
What went wrong in this election? Lack of enthusiasm.
Yeah, yeah.
Lack of transparency on the Hillary campaign.
True.
Lack of groundwork. And they didn't prepare for better candidates. We didn't prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to pay a hefty price for this. He is unpredictable.
Yeah.
He is surely unpredictable.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea what he will do.
You dig
No
what I'm
idea.
saying, bro? That silver tongue dude, yo, let me tell you, man. Yo. All I got to say, people, pray. Pray.
That's it.
Been
That's
doing
it.
it
That's
all
it.
night.
Right
You're one
there.
of the ones trying to get to Canada, Chris.
Nah, because hey, before you know, you're going to build a wall and make me an immigrant.
Thanks,
north
Chris.
and
Yeah.
south.
I've been
It
working
is
on my
what it
heels.
is, yeah. This is worse than the wall, and this is like the wall in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Winter is coming.
Trump is coming.
Winter
Yes.
is here.
Here. Thank you, Chris. All right.
White Walker.
Yeah.
Real, Junior.
Let's go to line 2 and talk to Mitch out of New Jersey.
Mitch.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm gonna go first. I'm a big fan of your show, first of all.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And Tommy, let me tell you something. You won't get yourself in trouble one of these days, man.
One day, baby. One day.
One day. But let me tell you something, guys, and here's a food for thought. First of all, I'm an independent, and I had to go home to Connecticut to vote. And this is the food for thought. Connecticut, while we have 2 Trump buildings in my hometown of Stamford, Connecticut, Trump did not win there, nor did he win in New York. But I don't think Hillary should have conceded, and here is why. Because of the fact that not all the votes are in, and here after the fact that this man done disrespected not only every single minority, all the immigrants, and every single woman. Anybody that is of one of those 3, a woman or an immigrant American or a minority that has to work for him, and he expects them to give him the respect, yeah, good luck with that.
Well, he's the president-elect.
The 45th.
You know, I don't know how you can't now. It's at least you
At this
respect the
point.
office. Yeah.
She
The
called
title.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
You
called. The president called.
Yeah, she did. Hillary called him.
They're going to start the wall in February.
All right. Hey, listen, we'll be back with more of your phone calls.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
We do have a new president. It is Donald John Trump, president-elect.
Can I tell y'all something?
What? He won.
It feels like somebody died. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
it does.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
That call in the middle of the night you get.
It's called a miracle.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody was saying we can't wait till it's over. We can't wait till it's over. All this frustration, all this hate, all this anger, all this. Well, it's over, and now we feel like someone died. So we have to go through a mourning period and all of that. Yeah.
Our president's legacy, though. President
that's
Obama's
what I was-
legacy.
yeah, that's what I'm
man,
so
all of
concerned
this
about,
work
his legacy.
that he has done.
I still believe he will go down in history talking about President Obama as one of our greatest presidents.
I do
Yeah.
He
too.
will. It won't happen now, but, in the future.
Years from now.
Yeah,
You're going to
years
look back
from
and
now.
say, he was a good one. He was a great one.
I'm very concerned about Obamacare and all the work that he's done, And
He's
he
the first
said he would
African
consider it a slap in the face if we didn't vote for Hillary. Well,
I know Hillary is devastated.
yeah,
She
she's
couldn't
gotta
speak
be. She
last
couldn't
night.
speak. Yeah, she
couldn't speak.
called Donald Trump to congratulate him, but we're expecting to hear from her later today. So I guess she's got to get her words, her thoughts, her speech together, because I'm sure it's devastating for her. She thought she was going to win. It appeared that way. The polls had her winning. It was close at one point, but oh well.
My whole speech would be cussing, so I know once they turn it
That
off.
phone call would have been cussing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the future for her, I mean, this campaign, it took everything out of her.
I
Seemed
was
like she
yeah.
was,
You're right.
was physically sick at some point. And
But it would, though. I mean, this is hard stuff right here. This is hard. And Donald Trump is not exactly the picture of health. He's 70 years old.
he's the oldest
Is that how
president
old he
to
is?
take office since what?
Reagan.
Reagan? Since Ronald
He's
Reagan?
lost all 3 debates.
Yeah. Well, to us, but to his supporters, he won, apparently. He could do no wrong. This is a guy that could do no wrong in their eyes, and they put him in office. So there you go. Okay, we have calls on the board. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's go to line 3. Talk to Harry out of New York.
Harry, good morning.
Morning, show. Good morning, Shirley, Tommy, caller. One thing
Hey,
for
Harry.
sure. Good morning.
Morning, Harry.
Tommy, I have one thing for Tommy. Tommy, please bring Corey back, please.
I'll bring Corey back, man.
Bring Corey back.
Yeah, I'm going to make radio great again. I'm going to have to do something. I'm so damn depressed right now. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm depressed too, man. I go to work at 2 a.m. and about 1:30 I got up, showered up, getting ready for work, checked on the television, and it was 2:44 to 2:15, and I kind of got knots in my stomach at that point.
Yeah.
I was feeling like things were sliding, south for Hillary.
Yeah.
But for sure, at least we know who Donald Trump is. He bullied his way in I think it's a joke. I think he's a clown. You know, I don't know if our foreign allies gonna take this guy serious on any issues because there were none. Then discuss the issue.
Right.
You know, so I don't think nobody knows what we're getting. But one thing for certain, I kind of was rolling with Donald on that foreign policy. You know, because I mean it's a new takeover out here. It really is. And you know, with these delis, these hotels, you know, these guys buying up all these gas stations. So, you know, it's like a takeover that way also. And they don't employ anybody. They employ their own.
Yeah.
So they're not creating, you know, work that way. So I kind of stand with Donald on that foreign policy, but everything else, not at all. Not at all.
You know what? Those are the three things that they said that put him over the top. Terrorism, his thoughts on terrorism. People were scared. Trade and immigration. Those were the three things that put Donald Trump in office. His stance on those. Yeah.
Yeah, he went on fear, talking about that. People are afraid of ISIS. People are afraid of immigration and the fear of Muslims in this country. And,
hell, I fear him.
Well, I mean, now he ain't the Lord now.
Well, not like that.
Yeah, okay.
Not like that. You ain't gonna come between me and my G.
You're right. You mean what he might do?
What he
his
may
hand
do.
on the
That's
button,
what I'm
all
saying.
of that. Yeah, his volatile.
hothead. Yeah, he took.
But
he overcame sexual assault allegations, and now he is going.
Oh, my.
Women loved him. They voted for him. They did.
I'm just wondering if them tapes, you know what?
Overwhelmingly.
Had those tapes not have come out, how big of the margin would it have been then? You know, if you
he
wouldn't have
won
seen
pretty
all this
big
stuff.
last night. Electoral votes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
big.
What did he have? 289 the last time I checked.
Yeah,
289
something
electoral.
like that. Something like that.
And it's close right now. Hillary's ahead. Last time I checked, anyway, before we came to work, was ahead in the popular vote. Okay. All right.
Don't you just want to go back to bed and wake up again and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I told you I thought it was a dream.
I
a
know
nightmare.
something was wrong, man. I
Told
couldn't.
you. I woke up. I said, "This
Count
is
'em
not
all.
a dream."
Cat. Let's have some more phone calls up on the board. Yeah. Phone calls?
We need some more cone files.
Hey, up to the screen.
Yeah.
877-29 Steve. If you just waking up and
You haven't heard.
yeah, Donald Trump is
It's our president-elect.
yeah.
President Obama, the class act that he is, has already called him. He called for unity in our nation last night in an address, and he called President-elect Donald Trump to congratulate him. And President Obama cleared out his schedule for Thursday to meet with our new president. And you heard Donald Trump's victory speech, right? It was nice and sweet.
Was it?
He said that for the nation to come
I
together.
have some of it.
For the,
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah, we should listen to some of that, Carla, when we get a chance. You want to go back to the phones? Let's talk to line 4. Let's go to Scott out of Pennsylvania. Wow, Scott. It's one of the big ones for Donald Trump.
Morning, Scott.
Morning. Thank you for taking my call
Yeah.
and your time. I've never listened to the show before, and I really hope you do make radio great again. That was a good one. But the one comment one of you ladies made, it really hurt my heart. I was on the fence this entire election. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of slander between both candidates. I did vote for Donald Trump. I have my own reasons, as you have for your candidates. But the comment about not voting for Hillary because she was a female, I can only speak for this. I can only speak for this Republican, you know. And ma'am, I did not vote for that reason. I voted for Obama as a Republican past 2 times. You know, he was a very good president, and he still is a very good president. You know, but I mean, we got to remember at the end of the day, we're all Americans, and the only way we can make this country, you know, I hate to say great again, is if we have to stick together no matter what. And if this doesn't work out in the next 4 years, you know, we could put somebody else in. So,
But Scott,
That's the process.
do you not think that a lot of people didn't vote for Hillary because she is a woman? Maybe not
honestly,
you personally, Scott, but a lot of people did.
I do. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't vote for Obama just because he was black. And as an American, that makes me embarrassed and ashamed. And at first, I want to be the first one to say, sorry for Pennsylvania taking so long. We had some issues. I didn't want to be the Florida, but but no. I mean, the reason I voted for Trump was, at the end of the day, I looked at the vice president candidates. He chose Mike Pence, who is a great man, and I'm hoping and I'm praying, and my money's on him, that he will surround himself with people, that'll pull in his reins, because he's not a politician, and he is very, very rough, very rough. And I'm an East Coaster, and I know the attitude of East Coasters, and I just, I pray for this country, and I just want us all just to be Americans, because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're not Democrats, we're not Republicans, we're Americans.
So the turning point was the vice president. Wow.
Well, for me, it's like if you're not happy, you hear a lot of people, I'm not happy with either candidate. And a lot of them had a lot of,
people said that,
rumors and corruption behind both of them, both Hillary and Donald. What he did with women, I don't agree with that. The things with Hillary and the emails and everything else, I don't know. I wasn't there for either. It's all hearsay, but, so I looked, okay, well, if something would happen to either one, who would be in charge of the country? Mike Pence or Kane? And I'm like, well, I would rather have Mike Pence. And for me personally, that's how I made my decision. Donald has a lot of good policies. He does. The way of him getting across, maybe not the best way. But hopefully, he could prove everyone wrong in the next 4 years and at least get us in the direction of where I think the country needs to be.
Scott, you agree with building a wall around the country? You agree with that?
A physical one? No. Not a physical wall, but, our country was founded, we're all here because of immigration, We're all here.
Some of us.
Man, yeah. I apologize. I didn't mean, I didn't mean that to come the wrong way, man.
It's okay. It's all right.
We've been knowing.
But that's what this country was founded on, and I live in Pennsylvania, and we got a lot of refugees in from Syria, and I welcome all of them, I do, but, there's a right way to come into this country, and there's a wrong way, and unfortunately, maybe we're a little too lax. I'm only a milkman, I don't know how all that stuff works, but I think, if we tighten up on our security a little bit nationwide, I think that would only be for the best.
Scott, you sound like a good man. You do. You sound like a good man. And you voted your heart, you voted your conscience. That
I ain't mad at you.
Your voice, your vote.
I'm not mad at you.
Well,
Thank
man,
you for your comment.
If you can't trust your local milkman, that's not an America I want to live in. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. All right.
I didn't even know we
got milk.
I didn't know we still had them either.
Hey, Scott, got milk? Thank you.
Actually, I do. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. All right.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right.
Oof.
Yeah. Time for our news with Miss Ann. I'm sure she has a lot. Come on, Tommy, introduce Miss Ann.
Oh.
Hi, here she is.
Oh, come on. Pick it up.
Put down your
the beautiful Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you, Tommy. Good morning, everybody.
Morning,
Shirley,
Miss
Colin.
Ann.
Good morning, everybody out there. And,
Good morning, Miss Ann.
it certainly is, and here we go. This is Ann Tripp. To many, even those in other countries, the 2016 presidential election was unbelievable, pitting Donald Trump, a polarizing real estate mogul and reality show host, against Hillary Clinton, a former First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State. And so it went.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
We are going to make America great again.
The government of our great country belongs to all of the people and not just a handful of wealthy campaign contributors.
My name may not be on the ballot, but our progress is on the ballot. Tolerance is on the ballot. Democracy
Donald Trump
is on
has
the
left
ballot.
behind a well-documented record of bankruptcies and thousands of lawsuits. Trump says he wants to run the nation like he's running his business? God help us.
If I'm your president, our friends will always know America will have your backs, and we expect you
She's
to
the
have
devil.
ours.
He made a deal with the devil. True.
It is easy to boo, but it is harder to look your kids in the face who would be living under a Donald Trump.
The election is being rigged by corrupt media, pushing completely false
You start whining before the game's even over, then you don't have what it takes to be in this job.
The director himself has said he doesn't know whether the emails referenced in his letter are significant or not.
This guy is temperamentally unfit to be commander-in-chief, and he is not equipped to be
We will
president.
go on to get the Republican nomination, and we will go on to easily beat Hillary or Bernie or whoever the hell they throw up there.
That's right. Fasten your seatbelts, because against all odds and naysayers, Donald J. Trump has been elected the 45th President of the United States. This is Ann Tripp. So,
Yay.
Wow.
Yay. That was great,
It
Miss
is.
Ann, by the
Great,
way,
Miss
as
Ann.
always. Thank you.
Well, I can't go back to bed and wake up tomorrow and all this could be gone.
I'm telling you, it wasn't a dream. It's not a dream,
Unfortunately.
in case you think it was a dream.
Right.
No, it's not a dream.
Yep, it's a
Might
new
be a
day.
nightmare, but it's not a dream.
New day.
I thought as we were going towards the west, it was going to change. I really did.
Well, it looked
Just wasn't
bad from
enough
the beginning.
There are also problems with voters by African Americans in Flint. She expected more out of Flint and Detroit, and to help swing Michigan. Yes, he spent a lot of time there. Yeah, yes, she did.
Did she go to Wisconsin?
She didn't go to Wisconsin that
She
much.
didn't go to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
No, not so much. So that was considered solidly Democratic state and a union state. In fact, the unions actually started. The strong union started in Wisconsin, the union movement. So that's considered like a Democratic kind of state. But Paul Ryan didn't even get it when he ran for the White House. He didn't get his own state. Wisconsin, went to the Democrat, went to President Obama.
I think the biggest thing, one of the biggest lessons we can learn is not to take anything for granted. Ever. To take anything. You don't have it in the bag. None of that until, like the fat lady sings, or it's not over till it's over. All those cliches come into play here. It's just, don't take anything for granted. Do your part.
Well,
That's right. Don't go to sleep and say, well, I'm sure she's going to win. Also, people who said that they were undecided till the last minute. Come on. You cannot say you're undecided between two so distinctly different candidates. You're not undecided. They knew they were voting for Trump, but they just didn't want to say that they were voting for Trump. They probably felt embarrassed about why. I don't know why, but they felt for some reason that they shouldn't say it. So I'm undecided. You're undecided 3 days before Election Day between two distinctly different people.
Yeah,
with
that's one of
vastly
my
different
biggest pet
visions.
peeves, Miss Ann. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I
How are you
cannot believe
undecided at this late hour? Make
you're
a
not
decision.
Undecided. You have, but you just don't want to say
You don't
what
want to
that
say
decision
it.
is.
Yeah. So we have a Republican president, Republican House and Senate now. So
They retained control of the House and the Senate.
Yeah. So
we
what do
took
you
one
think
Senate
happened,
seat.
Miss
That was it.
Ann, in Ohio and Florida and
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Where Scott was
because
from.
Pennsylvania didn't have early voting anyway.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't have early voting.
No, they're
So we
like
didn't-
New York. You have to just be there, or that's it. Yeah, it's very, I think a lot of people really took it for granted.
Yep.
They said they weren't. They said they would cut them out to the polls, but we were showing that early voting was down among African Americans, especially as compared to 2012. Early voting was down in North Carolina as compared to 2012. People were taking it for granted. Well, nobody's going to vote for Donald Trump, and that is wrong because he's on the ballot. There are people that have their opinions, and they think he's a good candidate. They're going to vote for him. That's their right. And it's your right, though, to get up and vote for the candidate. Don't take anything for granted.
You cannot
do that.
You can't do that. And we as black people have to stop just voting for an African American president or a black this, or we have to participate in the political process, period. Even though this one, I think you said earlier, Carla, or someone said that these two candidates were the most disliked candidates ever. Even when they're lesser of two evils. Come on, we still have to.
A lot of people held their nose and voted, but I mean, I don't feel I like her. It's like Oprah Winfrey said, well, she's not coming to your house.
Coming to your house.
You're voting for democracy. Your vote,
And for a legacy, and a lot of things we may see fall down by the wayside now. A lot of things that President Obama put into effect, and he was the only black president we did vote for. We've been voting for white people all these years.
All these years, for 43 presidents.
So I mean, we
before
know
him.
how to vote, for people.
Really? We ain't get out of the whole all 43. We've only voted for 17 of them.
This is, come on. Yeah. We have to do better. We just have to do better. But, I don't know what it's going to take, though. I don't.
Well, Trump says he wants to be the president of all the people, and he wants to reconcile. It's time to make peace and to mend fences. So we'll see, and we'll hope, and we'll close. Yeah, we'll close our eyes and.
Yeah, he also said he was going to make us proud, right? He did say that as president. So we'll watch and see.
We'll see. Yeah. We hope that he will, and he's got the job for 4 years. He's got it.
Yeah, January 22nd, he takes office. So we'll be back at 18 after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Please do the honor.
Why, Tommy?
Well, I just need somebody to give me some spirit in here. I ain't gonna
Our fearless leader is
Come
here.
on, man.
Calling us all the way from... You're in what city?
The motherland.
Yes. You left already? You left already?
You left early?
Without us?
You just left
It's
that
so
thing.
nice over here. Well, I think what I should say, and I've thought about it all night, but congratulations to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He is the president of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
As hard as I fought for that not to be the case, it is the case. And as a member of this country, we have to accept the results of the election. It is what it is. Life will go on for all of us. It could be quite different. I hope that I was wrong about it. I hope that in his very brief acceptance speech last night, the tone was right. I hope that speech can carry over into action. I am concerned, but God is still in control of my life and my family. And so with that in mind, everything's going to be all right. But he is the president. And a surprising result. Some people weren't surprised. I think everybody was surprised a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But he's the president of the United States. I've never dogged a president since I've been on the radio since 2000. Shirley and I and Tommy never badmouth the Bush administration through it all, and I'm not going to badmouth this president. I didn't badmouth Clinton, Bush, Obama. I'm not going to badmouth this one. So it is what it is. As a person of faith and a leader of this morning show, that's my position. I know y'all been taking calls. How the calls been?
They've been,
depressing.
People have just been speaking their minds. Yeah, some people, the people that were for Clinton, of course, are upset and in shock and unhappy. And we had a call. We have some more calls for Trump, and they're happy. They think that he can move the country forward, and they want to see what he's going to do. Basically, that's what it is. And I want to see what he's going to do, too. I just said that.
I hope they're right. Well, you won't have to see.
You got to see it now.
The first thing that's going to happen is Obamacare will be repealed.
Yeah, which is very, very sad.
Stopping that. That's going to happen. And a number of other changes that I've been listening from over here around the world. I'll give you my thoughts on it when we come back.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
How much is apartments over there in Africa? How much do they cost? What they run?
Apartments?
Yeah.
Man, you better be trying to think a little bit deeper than an apartment.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we are. The whole crew is here.
I ain't never worked so hard I ain't never worked so hard for nothing in my life.
For a candidate, you mean? Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Yep.
But like Donald Trump said, he said if he loses, it'll be for nothing. All that money and time and energy for nothing. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
For nothing. But, you know, the thing about it, though, is
what's that?
I have recovered from so many things, and most of us have. You know, we were talking, I can't speak for no other group of people, but for black people, I could say this. We used to this.
Yeah. We've been through hell.
The part of it is we tired of being used to it. We just tired of being used to it, man.
Condition.
This is like a major disappointment, but at the same time, I can only hope that this works out.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you better get busy though. You better get busy about whatever it is your plans, hopes, and dreams are. You have any plans of jumping, you better hurry up and get off that cliff, man. You need to get off that cliff right now. Jump. Go do something, man. Go do something. Because, I mean, you know the people that I feel sorry for? I feel sorry for the coal miners in this election. Because I don't really think that you can bring the coal industry back because of all the green laws and everything. I think that the eco-friendly environment is against coal mining, strip mining. I think that the way Go Green has come about, it's against coal mining. And I hate that we sold this bill of goods to all these coal miners, that we're going to bring all these coal jobs back. And all these factory jobs, because I wish that were the case. But so many things are turning robotic and machine operated. I just hate that for those people, Shirley, let's go to the phones.
All right, let's go to, where are we? Line 5. Let's go to Michael out of Kentucky.
Michael? Yes, this is Michael. Hello, good morning.
How are you, Mike?
Yes, it's Mike. Yes. First of all, I want to commend you all for the job that you are doing, and thank God for Steve Harvey and also his supporting cast, because you are doing a tremendous service. But as I look at it, it should not surprise us. And I used to be very angry, which I'm kind of trying to control my emotion now, but the anger was turning to hatred, which hatred, which can destroy us. But the situation has been, historically, why should we trust the slave master want to give up his property that made him money? Why should we be disappointed or sad when it is legalized to kill young African-American males in a country that accepts this? Why should we be surprised when the number ones in prisons is African-Americans? When something like this happens, are we surprised? Are we hurt? We should not be hurt. We should be tactical, inclined to fight against this craziness and this madness, because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Now, we cannot beat them physically, but economically, like King did, that's how we deal with Europeanism, Caucasian train of thought. We cannot sit up and just keep on continuing to say, we tired, and it keeps happening. We keep on saying we're tired with the cops killing young African-American males. But it's nothing going to happen because they know nothing happen because they be exonerated. And we sit back and blame. I like Donald Trump. You know why I like Donald Trump? Because he helped expose all the ignorance, the racism, and also the ignorance of African-American people who voted for him. You had a high percentage that didn't vote. That's just like vote for him. The Latinos, they had 29% of Latinos that voted for him. That's ignorance, because they don't get out and do what they're supposed to be doing to investigate and see the pros and cons of situations. So I know what Steve Harvey's saying. I can appreciate them, but I'm not angry. I'm not even frustrated, and even though it sounds like I am.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it does.
But it's all right.
Yeah, but
hey, you know something, man? You know, I appreciate everything you're saying. As a person with a microphone, I have to temper a lot of what I really think and feel because I have so many people who listen. And what I'm trying to do and going to try to do is put a face on this thing to get people ready for what's about to come. I wish with everything in me, and I'll be in prayer about it, that this man, but here's the scary part. If he does half of what he says he's going to do, is that going to be good? Now, if he can fix the economy, I'm all for the man. Man, please fix the economy. Show me how you're going to do. I just haven't heard a plan for it. But he is the president. And now what we got to do is we got to, again, prepare to deal with it. But President Obama said it best. You can boo all you want, but if you don't vote, that's right. This race was so tight. This race was so tight. They talk about the number of African Americans that voted for him, the number of Asians, and the number of Latinos that voted for him. If those numbers were different, we may have a different outcome. But I want to throw another group in there at you, too. I want to talk to you about women. Women voters turned out for Donald Trump in an alarming number, which said all the stuff he said about women didn't have an effect. I think that we've turned into such a blog society, such a reality TV society, that we now are so accepting of imperfections and stuff like this that it just goes without even any type of recourse or consequence. But I think that it allowed for the underbelly of this country to raise up and say some things that they were thinking and feeling anyway. That a lot of Americans are okay with building a wall with the immigration laws that they want to put into place. But here's what, if this Supreme Court, I'm talking of a lot of things, but...
Hold on, Steve. Save that until we come back from break.
I can't hear the music from over
here. Oh,
yeah.
We'll be back. Tommy, you okay?
What is it? What do you want?
We'll be back in 48 hours.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
We're back on this day after the election day, the day that a whole bunch of people were waiting for, just for it to be over. It is over. Yeah, I mean,
I am glad it's over because it was exhausting.
Yes, it was.
It was the most different type of election of all. You know, I was watching the Hillary Clinton supporters at the Jacob Javits Center after it was over. I've never seen at an election more people crying, and I mean bawling, looking so despondent, because those people knew what was at stake, and I could see it. Look, when Mitt Romney lost, I didn't see that reaction in the crowd, and they showed them. They just looked subdued, and I didn't see that when Bush lost. They just looked subdued. They were angry, but they looked subdued. I didn't see the outward showing of emotion that I saw in this one right here. Here's a couple of things that I know that you have to be aware of. When you control the House and the Senate and the White House, the last time that happened was 1928. That was the last time that they controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House. A year later was the Depression. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just throwing out a little known fact. Now, because they're going to now appoint the Supreme Court justices, I was watching this man explain what's going to happen. See, when you go totally conservative, you have to understand something. Obamacare is going to be repealed because they're going to make a bill out of it, and the state and the Senate and the House is going to pass it, and the president going to check it off. They're going to do that in the first 90 days because he got to do something that he said he's going to do. Secondly,
I just don't know how he can do that.
Secondly, immigration laws are going to be affected. Immigration is going to change in a great way. Next, affirmative action. any form of affirmative action which conservatives consider entitlements. They are against any form of entitlements. Thus, Obamacare and any other form of affirmative action, that's going to be in jeopardy. And then last but not least that I can think of, any rights that gays have gotten, that's not a conservative viewpoint, even though a large number of conservatives and Republicans are gay. But to keep the rules up, to keep up the fallacy of we this righteous group of people, as a conservative, they've got to get rid of all of that stuff, man. So you got to watch out for all of that. That's going to affect a lot of people. Now, all minorities can get ready to be affected by any form of what they call entitlement, which is affirmative action in any way. And so those are the dangers, and that's what everybody needs to be aware of. Now, do I hope that Donald Trump can fix the economy? Yes. Do I hope that he can bring jobs back? I hope that's true. I hope it's true for the sake of our country. Do I want the factories to come back? Yes. Do I want auto industry to come back and fill up Detroit and Cleveland like it used to? Yes. Do I wish the steel manufacturing came back to Pennsylvania and Youngstown and all of that? Yes. Instead of going overseas and buying all that stuff from China and all that, I hope so. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. But we in for one, and you know we got to stand, get behind the guy. He's our president. He's going to be our new president in January, and so those are the things, man, that we got to be aware of. And so, if you're about the business of becoming successful and trying to get your grind on, I'm strongly suggesting that you jump, man, that you go about your business, because your job, this job security that you think you have, it may not be what you think it is. Because a lot of things are going to get put in place for the wealthy. A lot of tax holes and loops that they haven't been able to jump through, they had to fight behind closed doors. It's going to be open now. It's going to be open. And so we just need to be aware. If you know anything about God, you better get him. If you love your family, unify your family, get yourself together, man, and be ready to buckle down and fight back. But, you know, until we fully understand the power of voting, we will forever be at the hands of anybody who wants to do what they want to do. And I think that this election has allowed the way people feel about Muslims, Latinos, and all of that, it allowed them to rear their ugly head and be okay with it, because they called themselves the silent majority. And even though they were ashamed in the polls to say what they wanted to, when they got behind that curtain, they hit the switch.
Yes.
And they voted quite robustly for Donald Trump. The women who were not as offended as you thought they should have been got behind that curtain and pulled that lever. The African Americans who were complacent and sat at the House because they decided to hold a vote or they didn't see no good candidate, well, here we have it now. And so I'm going to get behind the White House and support this president in any good endeavors that he does that's for the people. But because that's my job as a person with a radio show. You know, I can't sit up here and have us think, oh, woe is me now. You know, we got to get about the business of preparing ourselves for the future. But if we don't think that voting is important, now you know. And so whatever happens, you know, we're going to have to deal with it. But we also have to look at the fact that that was not the voter turnout that it should have been. And Donald Trump is our president. I've always liked his son. I think his son would have been a great presidential candidate. I think his son is on point. And you can't get mad at his kids because they love and support their father. I want my children to feel the same way about me. So I get it, man. So here we are. You got any phone calls, Shirley?
Oh, yeah. Let's go to line 4. Talk to Marquise out of Florida.
Hey, Marquise.
Hello?
Marquise, what's your comment, man?
Hey, Mr. Steve. First off, I want to say I'm a young boy. I've been a fan since I watched You Got Served, Mr. Rad with the Man. But I want to sit here and say, because I've been in several states over the last 6 months, and I want to talk about why I think the voting turned out the way it turned out and why everyone was so shocked.
Okay.
First off, I want to say that a lot of people have been tired of the way the government's been getting run for the past couple of years as far as this job and the people who live in poverty. And I feel like what's so surprising about why everyone's talking about the black vote is that a lot of people, like when the thing came out about Hillary, they didn't want to vote for her. And it turned into, oh, if you're voting for Trump, we don't like you. Or it turned into, like, see, that's why I said the silent voting, like, people didn't want to come out and say who they were voting for. So it showed that Hillary was leading because a lot of people were afraid. Like, I was afraid because I actually voted for Trump. And I'm saying that I was afraid because a lot of people hate you. A lot of people hate you because you're speaking your opinion on what you like about this man's plan. Like, I know things that he said in the past, but I didn't try to hold on to that because just like Donald Trump had his demons, Hillary Clinton had her demons that she had to deal with and that we had to look over. So I didn't want to let that get into the point of the election and what they were talking about. And I feel like that's why it's such a shock to a lot of people because a lot of people, white, black, Latinos, they agreed with things that Donald Trump was saying, but they were so afraid to speak it out that the polls showed that Hillary Clinton was leading.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's one of the things I was saying about the silent majority. I think that a lot of people were afraid to speak up because look, if you said, yeah, I'm going to support Donald Trump, then what was that saying about your views about women, about your views about Latinos, or your views about the military or whatever? I think it caused, but there was a silent majority in this election that was way stronger than the Democratic Party gave them credit for. They were much stronger. And so, it is what it is. And, I'm just that guy where when things like this happen, I just buckle down even harder.
It's okay, Steve. Go ahead.
I just buckle down.
We know you're in Africa.
I'm trying. There's so much going on over here, man.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to get people. Man, you gotta. Somebody on my feed said to me the other day, "How can you be a man of God and vote for Hillary Clinton?" And that threw me off because me being a man of God is simply means that I have a compassion for my fellow man, whoever he is. That's what I am. Now, I'm not a perfect man of God. I want you to understand that I'm that other type of Christian anyway. So, feel how you want to feel about me, but my compassion is for the human beings, for the youth of our country, for people who are downtrodden. I try to do things within my power to be uplifting to people. Sometimes I use humor as my form of medicine, but everything I've done, and so that's what I am as a man of God. I'm compassionate towards everybody. So I'm compassionate when I hear somebody say something against women. I get compassion when I hear somebody say something against Latinos who don't understand people wanting to come over to this country to seek freedom and jobs and things like that. And yeah, they're gonna come over illegally because there is no path to come over here quickly the right way. There is no form that you can fill out and become a United States citizen. So yeah, people come across illegally, but I get it. If you just go to El Paso and look across the river and look at them Dobie huts them people living in. I come across the river too. So I have compassion for those people too. This is a great country. Everybody want to come over here and get work. They send money back to Mexico. They go back to Mexico on their holidays and visit their families. They trying to make a way. I get it. How you don't get that? But all of them that come over here are not murderers and rapists. And when you make a statement like that, it's kind of disheartening. So that part of me is the God in me. The rest of it, I'm going to be Steve Harvey now.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Tommy, I got a question. Man, stop the irritation. I just want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
I'm over here in Africa.
Yes.
And I ain't ever been drunk before in my whole life.
Okay. What do you
I've
mean?
never been drunk. But let me ask you a question.
I want to hear this.
When I get off the radio and I go to get drunk for the first time, what do I look for?
Beer, wine, and Hennessy.
What is the feeling that's going to happen?
It's going to try to get you away from where you at right now. Beer, wine, Hennessy. Put all that in one glass and chug it.
Chug it? Like in college?
Yes, like in college. Chug it.
Steve, don't do that.
You'll think all this a damn dream.
In other words, he's saying.
Yeah, but Tommy,
you want to know the
but
feeling.
when you sober up, don't it still be what it was?
Yeah, it's gonna hurt, all of it, and your head too. Yes.
Okay, cool. I just need to know, because that's what I'm doing as soon as I get off there. I've been trying to get this.
Steve, you getting drunk
for the first time at your age? I don't know if you can handle that.
Yeah, damn near 60. First time getting drunk. I went all through college without drinking. I've been I'll be 60 in another month and a half. But I'm thinking about if I just get towed down. Yeah. But he'll still be the president, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
for 4 more years.
You sober up. Yeah. He'll still be the president.
Okay, cool. There ain't no purpose for it there. Let's go to phone, Shirley.
All right. Let's go to line 5, Dr. Bruce out of Pennsylvania.
Hey, Bruce, out of Pennsylvania.
Oh, Steve. I'm so glad I was able to get through. I've been a fan of yours for so long, Steve. Everything you've ever done, man, I've been a part of.
I'm sure appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You are amazing. Your whole staff, your whole crew, a Family Feud. Everything you do, man, is amazing.
Yeah, God is good.
God is always good. Every day, all day. But Steve, you are so good right now.
He's listening
this
to the
man is so out of control.
Okay.
Are we losing?
Yeah, hey, listen to me, man. Turn your radio off while you're talking, because you're going to hear the delay. So turn your radio off so you can just talk. Don't listen to yourself on the radio.
See, you know what's going to happen? I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. This man will get on the phone and start talking reckless, like play the salsa. And you know what happened when salsa came for him? They don't trust. He gonna start this stuff.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, technical difficulties with that phone.
Yeah, we got some technical difficulty, though. Either that or you've already started.
Drinking.
One of the two. And I just want you to know I'm right behind you.
He's with Tommy. He's up there with Tommy. Line 6, Sandra out of Texas.
Sandra?
Line 6, Kat?
Sandra?
Okay. Let's go to line 7, LaFay out of Tennessee.
LaFay? LaFay? Okay, she thought. Hello? Yeah, what's your comment, darling?
Yes, hi, Steve. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Morning.
Hey,
we good.
Yes, I am. I voted last night for Hillary, and I'm gonna tell you, I got a 19-year-old son. We signed him up for the selective service, and I'm gonna tell you how crooked it already was. It was going on. We signed him up for the selective service, and we voted. We had registered him to vote. So on top of that, this white lady at the place told him that he would have to register and he'll get a card in the mail, and that it was too late. He had to wait till the 4 years or whatnot. But this is how God works. I was in the wrong place to vote. So I went to my destination place where I had to go vote. And when I went in there to go vote, this white lady came in there, ain't never registered to vote or nothing. And they gave her the paper, filled out everything, and told her she would get a card in the mail, but they let her walk her little happy tail over there to that pool to go over there and vote. What about that?
Walk her little happy ass over there.
Well, I'm about to say something real hood here.
Okay, say it.
On top of LaFay?
Did you want to go over there and whoop her ass?
Yes, I wanted to go over there and whoop her tail. I wanted to whoop her ass because, see, this stuff on Facebook. I'm on the big sexy. That's what I am. I represent for the big girls. I told my friends and everybody else, you better get fat. Because if you don't get fat, it's going to be a whole lot of crotch grabbing around in this world.
Oh. She just topped you. She just topped you again, Steve.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for calling. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Big sex.
LaFay.
I'm looking up right now.
All right, we'll be back.
I need a drink.
More of your phone calls. Start to mix them, Tommy.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Okay. Nephew, you all right? We're back.
Is it?
Huh?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Why are you so...
I feel like I'm being pranked and ain't nobody said it yet. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean? You don't want to do the prank?
Like somebody pranking me and ain't nobody said, hey, you been pranked. At least come on out and tell me I've been pranked.
But you know what, though? I mean, seriously, we did all we could do in terms of encouraging people to get out and vote, to vote your conscience, to do all of that, to letting people call in here and express how they feel, you know, about both candidates, the situation, all of that. And we ourselves went out and voted. We early voted.
Yeah.
Some of us voted yesterday. I mean, what more can you do, you know, in an election like this? At least we exercised, you know, our right to vote. And it doesn't obviously always turn out the way you think it should turn out. Unfortunately, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and have to get healthy right now then.
Yeah.
They're going to repeal Obamacare. I can't have the crisis for another 4 years.
And replace it with what?
I don't know. I'm doing green drinks, getting my blood pressure checked. And then bust out the jumping jack.
Yeah.
Get this old physical in.
Yeah.
How many million, Carla? 22?
If they repeal Obamacare, 22 million fewer Americans will have health insurance, and that's according to the New York
Now,
Times.
why would you do that? Why would you let 22 million people suffer from that? Why would you do
Tarnish
that?
his legacy.
Greed.
And it's health insurance enrollment time for some companies, and it's that time of the year, you know, when you enroll for your 2017 benefits.
But before Obamacare, didn't the premiums go up anyway? I mean, they went up at a certain time, right? When you had insurance, your premiums would go up. Yeah.
I saw it in my check.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I saw it.
All right.
Depends on
Well, I got a lot to talk about in Memphis, I tell you that.
Yeah.
This changes the game for stand-up, don't it, Junior?
Yeah, it changes the game for stand-up.
Changes the game, brother.
Ooh. I'm doing
Well,
hard.
they said Hillary Clinton is supposed to address her supporters at about 9:30 Eastern. This is according to AP. They just tweeted that out.
She could just email me.
Yeah, this is a first that it's taken this long, it seems.
She got.
Did she give
She
up?
Can't talk. She can't stand.
Well, she was up all night,
Yeah.
too, you know.
She was devastated.
I might get some rest.
I'm sure. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. Well,
More calls?
yeah, let's take some more calls. Let's go to, where did we leave off? Let's
I
go to
think
line.
Ike walked away from his microphone.
Yeah, he did. He's in South Africa.
He's on the show with us.
Yeah. Okay, the whole crew's here today. Line 7, let's talk to Joe out of Texas.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good as expected.
Okay. How you feeling? Go ahead.
Well, my comment is, it's frustrating if any of my and our brothers and sisters think we got anything in common with something that the Klan supports. I don't, you know, when I see they say 11% of blacks voted for Trump, I'm like, how do you even align yourself, you know, with what the Klan has aligned themselves with? And just the second comment would be the uneducated. They were showing the uneducated white man vote. Well, Trump ain't got nothing for them either, because they're not bringing back certain types of jobs because it's just not possible. He just sold them a bill of goods, and I think that we as Americans, like Steve said, we have to buckle down. But we as Americans, they should hold him to all those promises he made, which are nothing because he really said nothing. He said, make America great again, but 8 years ago, gas was $5 a gallon here in Texas, and now it's $1.80. Ain't no restaurants closing like it was 5 years ago. I see people eat all the time, so they got extra money to do the things they want to do. So I'm just confused.
All right.
We understand your feeling.
All right, Joe.
And your frustration, brother.
We're with you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Line 8, Charmaine out of Louisiana.
Morning, Charmaine.
Good morning, everybody. It's a gloomy
you had that glass I had, sound like. Go ahead.
From New Orleans.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We're not happy this morning, but at the end of the day, we have to make the best of it.
That's true.
I think Secretary Clinton was cheated. I think they stole some of our votes. And I wish we can do a recount. Because I do believe that a lot of people, we got out and we exercised our right. But somewhere, someone has done something. And we really need to come together and look into this.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I don't think enough of us got out and voted.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think none of us, enough of us did.
Being from Louisiana, we should have came together like some years ago when we had to vote for governor. And we had the KKK. And we chose to see. And to see everything that Obama was putting in place for us, to just watch it go down the drain it's heartbreaking.
That's the part that's very.
We did not get out and vote as a whole.
Yeah.
It did not happen, baby girl. I promise you. You can recount them votes if you want to. We did not get out and vote, and those that, and a lot of us that did get out and vote did vote for
Trump,
Mr. Donald Trump.
All right, Charmaine. Thank you. We'll take more of your phone calls throughout the morning. And we'll be here for you. We're here. All right, Tommy, you okay, though?
No,
how's a cocktail? What you brewing up now?
Beer, wine, and Hennessy.
In the same glass?
No ice. Just get it down your stomach.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right.
Oh, man.
You want to go back to the phone, Steve?
Oh, that's all I could do, man.
Yeah.
I could just breathe deep. I'm hurt for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Man, I've been hearing them say this in those groups that I am
privy to listen in on. But man, I just didn't think they had enough. But boy, was I ever so wrong. And that silent majority, that's very real. I think that they're going to have to rethink the way they do polls. And Donald Trump said it. The polls are wrong. They're not talking to all the people. And this is crazy, man, because this is the first president that I can know of that's been endorsed by the Klan. And now, do I think he's a Klan guy? Absolutely not. Not by a long shot. I don't think Donald Trump is a Klan guy at all. But some rhetoric was said that made them think it was okay. And that's the real scary part, man, of it. And man, I'm just concerned about a lot of groups of people. I tell you, immigrants have every right to be nervous today. Muslims have every right to be nervous today. When the Supreme Court justices come in, I think a lot of rights that gays have gotten are going to be repealed. Any type of affirmative action, I think, is going to be laid to the wayside because they consider that entitlement. It's just a slew of things that I think are going to happen here. And so me and Tommy were talking, and
You know, I mean, how many times have we had suffered a defeat at the hands of whatever establishment or whatever? So we just gotta pull it together again. I don't know how many times the lesson has to be taught to us about the power of voting. I don't know when we think that we can be lax about the power of voting. I don't know how we ever came across with the idea of I'm not voting for anybody. I don't like either candidate. I don't know how we got it turned into that. I don't know how we got it turned into the lesser of two evils. I don't know how. But, you know, I'm an American. I'm a part of the greatest country on earth. And so we have to somehow unify this huge divide that has risen its head in this country and made itself known to be okay. But there is a divide now. And there are people in this country who are citizens of this country who don't feel safe right now and who have some real concerns. I'm going to be honest with you, I feel sorry for the coal miners and the factory workers that think that we're going to bring factory jobs back. There's a possibility we could bring some of these auto jobs back out of Mexico. Hopefully he could do that. But coal mining, because of the climate today, coal mining is a bygone industry. You can't bring back coal mining, I don't think. I really, really don't. It's not today. So, you know, let's go to the phone, Shirley, get anybody's opinion who wants to say anything.
Let's go to line 1 and talk to David out of Florida.
Hey, David?
The third.
Yeah, go ahead, David. What's your comment, man?
Man, I'm just confused. You know, my son's going to wake up this morning, man, and, you know, he's going to see this dude, Trump, president. It makes no sense to me because now my son's going to grow up thinking that, man, I can talk to women, I can treat women any kind of way. I can discriminate against colors, blacks, it don't matter, and so my son's going, people voted, kids ain't stupid, man, so we see this for our younger generation. Kids are going to wake up this morning and be like, man, I can talk and walk any way that I want to, and I can still run for president. And then I feel like, with that being said, so my son ain't stupid by no means, but it sets a bad example. It shows the younger generation that we could do anything and be able to get away with it, And then I feel like America is more divided now than what we were before, because I feel like if Trump was black and would have said the things that he said, and I'm white now, but I feel like if Trump was black and said the things that he said, there was no way America would have voted him in.
No.
Because of white America showed that things that we're more divided now than we ever were. People are waking up this morning and, a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are going to be angry either way, but I feel like the country is more divided. We took 2 steps back by electing this man. Then we didn't take a step forward at all. It just confuses me, and I don't understand how society or people realize what. I don't know, man. It just makes no sense to me, man. So
yeah, David. Let me tell you something I was thinking. Reality TV promotes so much. Our society, instead of being a country that used to be about fact checking, when politics had to be fact checked, I think we've got away from fact checking and we got more into blogging. I think that reality TV plays into this. I think that women have been so bastardized on social media to be used as innate objects for anybody's ogling, Googling, anything you want to do to a woman is on Instagram. Nudity, twerking. The more you shake your behind, the more likes you get. I mean, we've done this to women so badly that there is a group of women, not all women, but a group of women who've accepted this. We've done it in our music when we refer to women out their name, that women are now singing these songs and reciting the lyrics like it's okay. And it's not supposed to be okay. And so now you can overlook anything that a man says and just write it off as what they call locker room talk or anything like that. But it's not presidential talk. And that's the thing that I thought would matter to people. But I learned something. That doesn't matter to people in this country. It just doesn't matter to people.
We'll be back.
And that's, where we at.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
On the intro.
I'm sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, get yourself together. He is our neighborhood reporter, the one and only Willie Report.
Well, look at here. I guess it's time to go on, just keep it 100. One thing about me, I'm going to always keep it 100 Willie.
Yeah, Willie.
Well, it's over.
It's over.
You kept that 100.
Yeah.
It's over. The whole thing is a wrap. Knew this day was coming, but I ain't think we're going to come like this here. Any questions?
Willie.
Lady with the big eyes, go ahead.
They're even bigger today, let me tell you, because I haven't been able to close them ever since we got the news. But yes, but Willie, I just want to know from your perspective, since you're an insider, what happened? How did Donald Trump
I'll tell you exactly
win?
what happened. Hold on, lady, I got this right here.
Okay.
The Latinos didn't turn out like they were supposed to. The Asians ain't turned out like they were supposed to. And the black people set their ass at home because they didn't think it was necessary. They let the polls fool them. They set up in here. They let the whole trick game. See, the trick game came up. The lesser or two evils. I don't like Hillary for this. We finna find out what the hell you don't like about him in a minute now. See, that's all this here. All this here is what it is. And then the solid majority, the quiet, we tired of 8 years of this black man. We tired of all this here. We gonna get a white man in here. We don't give a damn who it is.
So you really think that had a lot to do with it? The fact that
all it had to do with it. See, a lot of white men ain't gonna let no woman be in charge of the country. Ain't nobody saying that. Then they got women right here. Then there's a certain group of women that like any man that's rich. You got some like that.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in talking about he gonna grab their thing. They talking about they got signs talking about grab my thing. If he was broke as hell, I bet you wouldn't let him grab your thing. Wow. So now his ass is the president. We got a lot of firsts going on. First president ever been divorced. First president ain't ever been in the military. First president ain't ever been in politics of any kind. And this will be the first time we're going to see the first lady without her clothes on.
Ronald Reagan was divorced.
I didn't know that. I'm just talking. Willie report.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for you, Willie.
Go ahead, lady.
Willie, what are you going to do now? The election is over. What are your plans?
See, Willie cool no matter what. See, I'm black. I've been through this all the time before. Slavery.
Hello.
Jim Crow. Yeah. All this here, riding in can't ride on the bus, drinking out of water fountains that can't get on this hill. I've been through all that. Willie been through all of it. Willie gonna survive. Willie gonna make it on through. I tell you who's gonna be disappointed. All y'all black people that thought something was supposed to happen for you, it ain't.
Well, that's the thing, Willie. A few black people did vote for Donald Trump.
It was more than a few, but it was more than a few that stayed their ass at the house, too. See, them the ones I'm talking to. So quit complaining. President Obama said, don't boo, vote. That's what he said. He said vote, right?
Yeah, he did.
What they do, they stay their ass at the house. You know, way more black people and Haitians and Latinos, everything down there in Miami, sit their ass at the house. North Carolina, set their ass at the house. Pennsylvania, set their ass at the house. Ohio, he went up there and showed the whole thing. Donald Trump in Palmer, Ohio. All black people live in Palmer. Went out there and told all these coal miners they finna get their job back. Ain't nobody finna dig no more damn coal. Coal ain't coming back. It's eco-friendly. You can't tear the ground up like coal miners been doing. He not gonna give them their job back.
Wow. Well, I got a question, Willie.
He won West.
What you want, Tommy?
Do I have to pay taxes now?
Oh, good question, Tommy.
Hell yeah, you been having to pay taxes. You got to pay taxes, so he don't.
You just kept it 100.
Who missing this here? You damn right you're gonna have to pay taxes. So his ass ain't got to.
Yeah.
He done told you he ain't paid no damn tax. He didn't even show you tax return. Thought that was gonna hurt him. That ain't hurt him.
Okay, Willie, here we go.
Talking about women, he gonna build a wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna be hard to build a wall when you watch this right here. The Mexican gonna go right down there and help with the wall.
Oh, no. Really?
That's what they ought to do. They ought to boycott the building of the wall. Because they're right there. White people ain't gonna go down there and build no wall. They're too damn hot.
So, Willie, what do you think a Donald Trump America is going to look like?
Gonna look like Country Club.
Like, really? What do you mean?
Let me tell all y'all something right here. All y'all didn't vote for him. Tell you what. Here's what you're gonna have to do. Learn how to operate a lawnmower.
If we're back.
Wow.
What a day.
Let me just say this in closing. This is just all my opinion. And so you, as always, are free to have your own opinion, just like everybody had the freedom to vote how they wanted to vote. From my standpoint, and I don't speak for everybody, I don't claim to speak for black people. I'm just a guy with a platform, and this is my statement about it. This is the United States of America. Today, we ushered in a new era. It is a new era. What has gone down today hasn't gone down in a long time in this country. I'm not sure that politics will ever be the same after this. But this new era that we've ushered in, it's hard to speak on it because it's filled with so much uncertainty. In this election, we didn't get to hear much about issues. We kept dealing with so many other things. We're no longer a society of fact-checking. We are now about blogs. We're not about issues. We are about he say, she say. I've never seen a campaign ran like this before, and I'll be 60. I don't remember a lot, but I had some critical moments in my life. I remember coming to the house and my mother was at the ironing board crying when JFK was shot. And I remember my father coming home and my mama was crying at the ironing board. My daddy said, "Baby, what's wrong?" She said, "Lord Jesus, what we gonna do now?" Because Kennedy had fought so hard for blacks, and they made black people actually think that someone cared. So I remember that. I also remember Martin Luther King being shot in '68. I was in the 6th grade. I remember watching the teacher brought a TV into class, and I watched the hearse being drugged down Pennsylvania Avenue. And that began a downfall in my attitude. I did not understand why they killed this man who was always talking about us loving one another, and black children and white children holding hands and having a dream that one day this country would be all that it was printed up to be in the Constitution, and it would live up to its creed. And I remember that. I remember the Vietnam War. I remember my brother being sent away. I remember my brother coming home. I remember lunch sit-ins at counters. I've seen signs, colors only, water fountain signs. I'll be 60. So I've seen a lot. I didn't vote until I was of age, but I've never seen an election like this that was so ran on so few issues. We just ran on he said, she said. We talked about who slept with this person, who touched that person, who said this, who did that, who stole this, who did that. It was just crazy what we did. But in this election, I also learned what I learned a lot of times before, that we as people, all people, we take so many things for granted. For example, the vote. the vote was taken for granted. So many people think that they have the right to sit out voting, that they have the right to say that I'm not choosing one candidate or the other because I don't like either one of them. I don't know when a presidency of the United States became a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with experience anymore. That's been proven. It has nothing to do with record. That's been proven. So it became a popularity contest. Two candidates who had unfavorable marks on both sides. I don't know if we really understand what we've done because a new era is coming. But I do know one thing about it as an African American, that we don't have the luxury to act like others, simply because we don't get treated like others. So how you think you could act like others and get treated different when you don't get treated like others is beyond me. You can't say what you want to say. You can't get pulled over for traffic violations. You can't have something in your hand. You can't put your hands up and say don't shoot. You can't run. You can't have a cracked tail light. You still can't play your music too loud. You just, what? So for those of us that set it out, who sat at home, you know who you are. We didn't have that luxury. We didn't have that luxury because too many people died so we could vote. But a lot of us didn't exercise that vote. But it wasn't just black people. I ain't gonna do that to us. We could have done better. We could have done something different, all of us. All minorities could have done something a little bit different this election. A lot more women could have done something a little bit different this election. I get the disenfranchised, the people who feel like they want something different in Washington. And like he said, I'm going to go to Washington, I'm going to drain the swamp. Well, great slogan, but what does that mean? The swamp still exists. There are still Democrats and there are still Republicans. There's still the House, there's still the Senate, and there's still your power of veto. It's the same swamp. It's just got different people in control of the swamp. Now, if he can get in there and change it, I wish him well. I hope he does. And I hope that he's right, that he can bring a change in this country. The problem is, in this new era, we don't know what the change is. I don't know what he means by I'm going to make America great again. We're going to go back to when America was great. Well, how far are we talking about going back? Because going back for us don't mean the same thing as going back for you. I pray you're right. But it's hard to be right when so many wrongs have been said. How do you take the divide that's been created in this country over 18 months with the talks about our Latinos, women, minorities, gays, the wall, the Muslims? How do you bring that together? What are you going to do to counter all of that? And you ran on a platform that made people come out the woodwork to vote, that made the Klan endorse a president for the first time that I can remember, Klan newspaper. So what are you going to say now to close that divide where people on social media now are saying so many hateful things? So I'm just curious, what we going to do now? How do we close the divide? What are we going to do different? I hope what he said in his speech last night was real. I hope that he goes to these inner cities and he makes them safe again. But you ain't going to make them safe again with the stop and frisk. You're only going to make these inner cities safe again with jobs and opportunities and education. Because when the disenfranchised feel like they're not a part of the American dream, then they create their own American dream. And oftentimes it ain't a dream because it ends in a nightmare. So what are we going to do now? Donald Trump never badmouthed Bush. Through Katrina, through all of this, I just felt like the government could have done more. But I never badmouthed him. I won't badmouth this one. But we got to do something, man. Because now it's on and cracking. Because now all this rhetoric talk, we're going to have to back it up with fact. Do I think a wall is coming? Yeah. Do I think the wall will fix anything? No. Do I think that Statue of Liberty should still stand for bring me your huddled masses? Yep. But it can only bring me your huddled masses if you come from Europe or if you come from Cuba. But you can't come across the border south no other kind of way. It ain't for you in Jamaica. It ain't for you in El Salvador, Colombia, Mexico. That's not what that stands for. If that was a way that these immigrants could come over here and file and get a legal way in, I would understand it. But there ain't no legal way into this country. That's why so many run over here by the thousands, try to seek the American dream, because the majority of the immigrants that come over here are hardworking people. They're actually the fiber of this country. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do now? We left with this to deal with. I suggest to all of you, if you're a person of faith, get with it.